Alright, this is going to be game number 2 in FactSet versus IBM, the B League in AHGL. The series is currently 1-0. IBM took the first game in what was a drop, and then we used the new resume feature, and it worked really well. So the map here is going to be Star Station. This is a 4-spawn map with no restrictions, so the players can spawn anywhere. So spawning in the lower right here, we have the blue Zerg for IBM. It is Variants. And in the lower left, the red Protoss for FactSet is Nacho Cheese. So another ZVP. We just saw a ZVP before. The Zerg in that one opened 14-14 and Forge Fast Expand out of the Protoss in more of a SimCity fashion as opposed to the Choke Wall-Off fashion. So we'll see what the players decide for this time. Looks like we will be getting a pylon down for probably a Forge Fast Expand in the Choke Wall-Off, and it looks like the probe will be scouting the incorrect direction, going clockwise. Overlord is also going in the incorrect direction, but that's no surprise because he's going in the shorter direction. So we'll see if Variants decides to send out the drone scout here, and what builds they go for. Star Station, this is, let's see, in these positions, they are fairly close by ground here, and generally that will tend to favor the Protoss. The nice thing about this map is they give you this symmetrical fourth base setup, so that regardless of where you spawn, you can still take the fourth base that's further away. So Variants can pretty easily take his national and his third here. Those are obvious choices, but then his fourth, he can either take it here or here. And because the Protoss is here, you would pretty normally the Zerg wants to expand away, so you take a fourth up here, and then that sort of lends itself to the late game map split if needed. You can take 5, 6, and 7 up there. Pool first coming out of Variants, very safe against the Protoss. Generally don't want to go hatch first because you can get cannoned out here. And very greedy play out of Nacho Cheese here. He is taking the Nexus first on 15. Variants is going to see that. So there's a couple ways Variants can respond to this. His pool wasn't super early, it was about 15, but one thing he can do is save up 2 or 3 larvae, so as soon as that pool pops, he can build 4 to 6 Zerglings. And in these close by ground spawn positions here, with the Nexus first, the cannon almost certainly won't be done in time, so the Protoss will have to throw down another building to block this. I mean, you can see the cannon isn't even started yet. So we'll see here. Variants has chosen not to build any lings so far. I don't know if he has. Is he supply block? He's not supply block. Yeah, Variants isn't interested. He's just going to do the macro play. That's reasonable. I would have actually liked to see a couple of lings. I mean, if you get like even 4 lings in, you can really throw a Protoss off their game. Just run around and harass them. But it looks like Variants isn't going to be pushing that. So. Variants does keep this drone scout in here, so he'll see everything that's coming down. I don't know if he saw this double gateway, and it'll be interesting to see if Nacho Cheese intends to keep this gateway, or if he was just using it temporarily as a block off, and he'll cancel it and put down a cyber core instead. Looks like he does intend to keep this, and I think this might be a full wall off. Yeah, and actually these gateways are rallied, so this Protoss is looking to put on some very early pressure here. 2 gates before Cyber Core and a full wall off, so he's probably going to be kind of boosting out some Zealots. The purpose of this build is you've got this metagame where Zerg are still doing this very early 3rd hatchery, so you can see that Variants has already taken his 3rd hatchery here, and it was right around 4 minutes and 20 seconds or so, which is pretty standard. So the idea is that you build somewhere in the order of 4 to 5 Zealots, and you rally them directly to that 3rd hatchery, and the Zerg will have like nothing to deal with it. You can see that the Zerg hasn't taken any gas here, he doesn't have his roach worn down, and he doesn't have creep spread out to that 3rd yet, so he can't move queens down there. So literally the only thing he'll have to defend is just a couple of slow lings. So if you get like 3, 4, 5 Zealots massed up and then you push out, you can usually deny this hatchery. There is a queen waiting there, and it looks like, are those the only 2 lings that are out on the map? Yeah, just 2 lings, and Variants is droning really hard. He had 8 drones in production there. So no gas for Variants. He's actually going to be pretty close to supply blocked here. 2 Zealots are out, 2 more are on the way. It doesn't look like any Chrono Boost has been expended into those Zealots. In fact, no Chrono Boost has been used at all. That's a bit of a mistake. We're at full Chrono Boost there, but here the attack starts. First 2 Zealots are out. Not sure. Did he cancel those other 2? Oh, he rallied him back inside. That's an interesting choice, because these two zealots are probably not going to be enough to cancel this. I mean, variance, yeah, he's building some wings there. They'll be annoying for sure, but they are not going to destroy this third hatchery. Now that the second queen has showed up, a second queen and a couple of lings here is going to be more than enough to repel these two zealots. And variance has got this other ling here, so he can see that there's nothing else coming. And with those gateways rallied back inside the base, I mean, that's going to be it. One probe is kind of sitting there too. First side goes down. That is a nice looking proxy pylon there, and the proxy pylon is going to be very important because of this tight wall. That is the only probe that's out on the map right now. So we'll see if variance is able to scout that out and do anything about it. Variance is continuing to drone here. There's 45 to 34 drones with 7 more drones on the way. So the Zerg will be taking a huge drone lead if he can hold on to it. Doesn't look like any clear tech choice out of the Protoss yet. He is going up to 5 gates and he's taking a second forge. Looks like he's only going to be working off of 3 gas. So variance sees, did you see everything here? He hasn't seen the second forge, but he knows the gateway count now. 5 gateways, that's not quite enough to do any sort of 2-base attack. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe if you're trying to get 1-1 or something. I'm not really sure what that is. I would expect to see like a robo. And, I mean, here's the problem is most of this army that he's got, the 4 sentries, the 2 zealots, and the 3 stalkers are inside of his base. And the only way he can get out right now is to either kill a gateway or a forge. And when you're at 5 gateways on 2 bases, you don't really want to lose one. You'd be 4 gating off 2 bases. Oh, maybe that's why he built the second forge. He's going to wait for the +1 to finish here and then kill the forge so he can get out. That would make sense. Variance, is he going to tag this watchtower and see this pylon? That would help him out a lot, but he's not. He just poked up there and looked for a pylon, did not touch the watchtower, so he does not see that pylon. Going back around now. Nope, changed his mind. Okay, roaches are doing a dance here. Finally takes the watchtower. Can he see the pylon? He cannot. That is perfect placement. I don't know if that was intentional or not. But that is just out of range. Yeah, and he does kill that forge. Okay, so he starts the +1 armor and he can get out now. Still kind of a weird Sim City there. Yeah, the stalkers have to walk like... I guess the stalkers can get out of there. So it looks like this is going to be some 2-base aggression here. 5 gateways. We'll be going up to 6 gateways and a very late robo. Variance probably sees the step forward with these 2 lings here. 1 pylon on the outside and 1 proxy pylon in position. Protoss can go up to 92 supply here. He's got 1 more pylon coming down and not a whole lot of bank. Oh, I take that back. He's not doing any sort of aggression. He's just taking a 3rd. And does Variance see this 3rd? He does see the 3rd with that Overseer. So that would be the cue. So at this point, Variance, you know, he can kind of poke around, try and deny that 3rd, but that would be his cue to take a 4th. And there he goes, spot on. He should have seen that, yeah, you walked right by that now. This is very nice play, actually. So this pylon right next to that 4th base, so Nacho Cheese can easily warp in, use zealots just to pressure that, and now the army for Variance is on the complete wrong side of the map. He will have to cancel that 4th. He'll take out the proxy, but the zealots in that probe are probably going to get away. Actually, that probe is going to stay tucked there. Very sneaky. At the same time, though, the Zergling run-by will cancel the 3rd of the Protoss. So, I mean, that's almost a dangerous thing when you cancel the 3rd at that point, because the Protoss has got 2 options, right? They can either try and rebuild it, or they can be like, well, I lost my 3rd, so screw it, I'm just going to go all in at this point, off of 2 bases. So we'll see what he chooses to do. He's throwing down a bunch of pylons here. He has the minerals, yeah. We'll see if he's going to build this Nexus again. Looks like maybe he's thinking about it. He is getting another proxy pylon up here. Variance is double expanding. He's taking his 4th and his 5th at the same time. His hive is already done. Holy buckets. Super early hive out of Variance. So the Greater Spire is already morphing at the 13-minute mark. And he has 67 drones behind it. And he'll be going up to 10 geysers very soon. So 7 infestors are coming out, so it looks like Variance is going to be trying to play this infestor broodlord style. But this is kind of a critical moment here when you're doing that transition into infestor broodlord, because your whole army is typically lings and roaches. And lings roaches do not do very well against the 2-base Protoss army. Although there are no robo units that have been mixed in. Is that correct? Yeah, 0 robo units on the field right now. And actually a second Robo Bay coming down. So it looks like the Protoss is preparing for a late game Colossus transition, but it hasn't started yet. So I think he's going to miss this timing where the Zerg is typically very weak. So Variance might get away with this. He's starting to build defense. Here come the Corruptors now. Greater Spire is finished. Upgrades are actually not the greatest. He's got 1-1 and he's starting +2. Looks like he's kind of cutting a lot of corners to get these super fast broodlords. I mean, 14.5 minutes here, and he's already gearing up for broodlord production. We'll run by the Stalkers here. Might cancel this 5th. Yes, it does at the last second get the 5th, but he's going to lose all of those Stalkers. I don't think there were any drones there. There might have been. He's got 6 workers killed. Broodlords still haven't started yet, I guess, but we could be getting pretty close here. He's starting to bank up 800 minerals, 600 gas, so he can build a few broodlords. Raptors are out of the field now with more of them coming, and that 2-2 has been started. And there we go. First broodlords are on the field, so the broodlord infestor army is building, and broodlord infestor will destroy a zealot heavy composition. Zealot sentry just doesn't do anything against broodlord infestor. So the only way Nacho Cheese is going to be able to deal with this is if he starts to transition into that late game army. And the double Robo Colossus is a good start. He needs to mix in Archons as well. So I don't see any Dark Shrine. I don't even think he has a Citadel done yet. Oh, I can use my fancy Structures tab. Yeah, no Citadel done yet, so he's quite a ways from any Archons. Ling run by at the third here. At this point, Variance is just trading out the Lings. Well, maybe not. He's not quite at 200 supply, but he doesn't really need the Lings. He just wants to keep the Protoss on his toes. Has Variance spotted? He has spotted that proxy pylon, and he should really do something about it, and this is why. He should be sending these Lings up to deal with this proxy pylon, because otherwise these weapons are going to continue to pressure this 4th and the 5th. Maybe not the 4th so much, now that there's a couple colonies there, but yeah, Nacho Cheese will probably see that there's these spines and spores here and just bail and head for the 5th. Actually, he's probably not even paying attention. You just kind of A-move those zealots and then, go back to whatever you're doing. Insane micro by Variance. He's trying, I thought he was going to just leave the one and then try and run the other one around it, but he doesn't, so he doesn't, that's fine. So Variance has got very nice map control here. He's he can see if there's any push out up top here. He can see if there's any push out on the bottom. Moving again with burrowed infestors here. I don't know. There is 3 observers on the map. I know one of them is down here. Yeah, so he's gonna run back there. Thought maybe we would see some burrowed infestor shenanigans. I don't know why he hasn't taken this probe out yet. He can see it, but yeah, he just hasn't taken it out. Protoss is pushing forward now. Both players are pretty close to max. What is our broodlord infestor count? We are at 9 broodlords, 7 corruptors, and 7 infestors with 67 lings on the field, most of which are with the main army. So the Protoss is going to push here and try and take a 4th. There are a few lings set up for a run by, but almost none. Not many at all. Upgrades are 1-1 for the Protoss, and I think the 2-2 finished up for the Zerg. Yeah, 2-2 finished up for the Zerg. So here we go, big engagement. First bungle is pretty nice, locking down a couple of them stalkers. Lots of queens in this mix as well. If the micro is good enough, the queens are nice because they can transfuse the broodlords. Good positioning by Variance, letting the Protoss engage almost on creep in range of the spine crawlers. Very nice force fields here, locking down 1 infestor, keeping those lings in, but there is just so much Zerg here, and this broodlord infestor count is going uncontested. We got 1 Colossus left and only a few stalkers here, but they're getting ravaged by these broodlords. And that's it. Nacho Cheese is going to call it right there.